Welcome to Supplier Spot Spotlight, the podcast where we shine a light on the RV, park, and campground outdoor hospitality industry. Join us as we chat with suppliers, park owners, and staff, uncovering insights, strategies, and stories that will elevate your outdoor experience. Get ready for inspiration and innovation in every episode.
Hey there again. Bobby Sorden, Supplier Spotlight podcast with my next guest. I got Hunter here, and he's with Llamawood. Hunter, thanks so much for being on the podcast with me. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, and it's always great getting people on here. I've done a couple of them today and in the past couple of weeks or so, and I learned so much every time I do these podcasts. And the whole point about the spotlight is really to spotlight what you do and what you do for the outdoor hospitality industry. And I know when we first talked, it was several months ago, and I think you were actually referred over to me, I think by TJ, if I remember right,
yeah.
Right? With Campsite 360. Yeah. So he's a great guy too. I'm going to have him on the podcast here soon as well. So we got connected and I learned about what you do and I was real excited about it. And we talked a little bit about Supplier Spot, and then you went through Llamawood up there. So appreciate you supporting Supplier Spot as, I try to make it a industry-wide one-stop spot. So speaking of that, what do you think about Supplier Spot?
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me. Been looking forward to chatting with you. And TJ, great guy, has been super helpful to me with walking me through all sorts of nuances in the campground industry. So I've been really appreciative of him, and he introduced me to you as well. So appreciative of that. Supplier Spot, I love this idea because I was just talking to a campground owner, and they're trying to buy in their store. They try to buy products for their campers that are local and come from a variety of places, not just a single sort of distribution channel. Mm-hmm. And they're out looking for coolers and fishing poles and local food and, any other local business that, often isn't really accessible to, campground owners without being on some sort of platform that exposes their small business or local business to the world. And you're doing that for the campground industry as a whole to allow, there to be a one-stop shop for, anything that they may need, and giving access to businesses and small business owners that otherwise might not have been connected to those campgrounds. So I love the idea of a marketplace. I think it's a great way to provide value to both sides, both the campground owners and the business owners of the people that are on Supplier Spot. So love what you're doing. Love the site, and excited to dig in more.
Yeah, great. I appreciate all that. And that's exactly right. I know we talked a lot about it back when we first got on and met with each other and talked. And that's my entire goal, everything that you mentioned. And I know I say this on every single podcast, and hopefully one day I can say, hey, it's finally here. But I'm working with a developer to rebuild the website to make it a little bit better. I built it on a platform when I first launched it back in March of this year, 2024. And the platform I built it on was just basically a quick, simple platform where I can get something out quickly and easily. That way I had something to go off of, and then I can learn from what everybody's wanting and needing for the next phase of it. So I'm hoping within the next month or so, I'll have the new site up and going, which is going to look so much better. It's going to be so much easier. And my goal is to have it be a directory where people like RV park campground owners, like what you were just talking about, the person you were talking to, can go on and search for whatever they're looking for. And it pulls up those suppliers, and the suppliers who actually sell the products, such as yourself, or whoever does the food items or the camp store items, they can have a little link that says go to our store, and it'll either take them over to their store that they already have, or they can even build their own little store right on Supplier Spot. So that way they can have everything integrated right into Supplier Spot. And that's my goal. And as I build this out by myself, I think I told you that when we talked, this is all me, this is all bootlegged, I'm paying for it all out of my own pocket. Hopefully one day I'll be able to start building up a team that can help me with, going through all these details as we get to the new site. So I appreciate everything you said about it, because that's my goal, is to make it a one-stop spot. And I've got a lot of conferences and trade shows coming up that I'm going to be attending, supporting Supplier Spot, and promoting people like you. So thanks again for all the good words on it. So did you see I pulled up your little area here about some of the stuff you guys do? And I know you guys do a lot more than this. And I love the concept you guys have come up with the Llamawood, because when I first thought about it, I was like, oh, okay, they just send you a little pack of firewood whenever you order them or something. But I know it's bigger than that. So I'll let you do your little spiel now about talking about Llamawood and what does it do in this industry.
Yeah, so Llamawood got started because of this problem that I had buying firewood everywhere up and down the East Coast, and then I ordered wood for the last time I ordered wood, and it was wet, didn't burn. I had to call the guy who texted me when he might be there, didn't show up, didn't know where it was. Then it finally got there, filled up my rack, and I had to pay him in cash. And I had this like moment where I was like, there has to be an easier way to buy firewood and have it be good quality and delivered quickly, and managed by some like app. Basically, you can get a fire pit delivered to your front door in a click of a button. So why can't you get the product that you need to use to then enjoy the fire pit?
There you go.
So I started Llamawood with the idea, similar to you, to connect all of the wood producers to a platform that could allow any of them to deliver to homeowners, restaurants, or campgrounds. And we provide our own drivers and manage the logistics of delivery for the firewood producers. So it's super easy for them to get their awesome product out to the market. And so we started as a residential delivery business, where we started growing pretty fast and expanding our delivery radius. And then campgrounds actually started reaching out to us. And because we had sellers that already produced bundled wood, we were able to then deliver that product to campgrounds. And then we started really loving this whole industry and meeting all these campground owners. And I think, I met TJ at one of the trade shows a couple of years ago. And then meeting all these campground owners, they're also, most of them, small business owners, a lot of husband and wife, family owned businesses, small teams that are just trying to give their campers an amazing experience and also run a business at the same time. And so we love helping campgrounds because we're able to give their campers some product that they're going to use and love, and we're going to save the campground time and money by making it super easy to get firewood delivered. And we have so many different local producers that we are always available. We always have dry wood that is ready to be delivered and burned. And so, camp stores never have to worry about running out of one of the most sold items in any camp store. It's like firewood, ice, and gas, I think.
Yeah. Propane, yeah.
So, I talk to campground managers all the time that are like, yeah, I ran out last fall and winter because my delivery guy didn't have wood and couldn't, make it in time. And we've delivered to a couple that, have come to us because the person that provides their wood is like, I just don't deliver wood anymore. I stopped doing that. My wood's not dry and ready to deliver. So we give, this unlimited access to dry, ready to burn wood. All of the wood that we deliver in bundles is certified heat treated. So it's smoke, less smoke, no chemicals, no pesticides, no bacteria, and it burns clean and it lights easily. So campers don't have to worry about, getting smoked out, or the worst is setting up your fire and then lighting it and it just sizzles and doesn't actually burn, because then you can't make s'mores and you can't sit around the fire, and that's the worst. And we've set out to basically never to get rid of that problem so that people never have to struggle to find firewood or burn, ever again.
Yeah, that's great. It's such a cool concept. And so the way I'm looking at your website here too, I take it you only really do it in bundles, right? So you're gearing more towards your customer being the actual campgrounds and parks themselves, as opposed to just the camper who wants just like, a few little small packs or something like that. Is that correct? Or how does that work?
We sell basically firewood in two formats: cordwood, which is like loose in a truck that gets delivered to a house or maybe a restaurant.
Okay.
Then we stack that wood on delivery for that customer. But then for campgrounds, it's all bundled on pallets. So it's intended to be a way for campgrounds to easily find firewood and get it delivered for their camp store. And so, there are a couple of things that we have learned about campgrounds that, not all campgrounds have gigantic warehouses that can store a full truckload of firewood, which is up to 24 pallets, or some of them can only take, 50 at a time. And so because we have a logistics and delivery platform and network of drivers, we can actually deliver much smaller quantities. We basically figure out exactly what the campground needs. If it's 2 pallets, 3 pallets, 6 pallets, 12 pallets, delivered once a month, delivered 10 times a year, delivered once a year, and then just cater the delivery experience to exactly the needs of that campground. So while we don't sell bundles like individually, we do sell smaller quantities of pallets if that's something that they need.
So if I was a camper at a campground, could I just call you, or I don't know if are you app based, or is it just web based and mobile friendly?
It's web based, yeah.
Okay, so it is web based, mobile friendly. So if I was a camper at a park, could I just get on there and say, hey, I'm staying here for the next 2 weeks, and you guys could deliver a bundle straight to my camper? Or do parks and campgrounds kind of frown upon that?
Yeah, we don't deliver to campers. We're just direct to the store. So we work directly with the campground. There's a lot of campgrounds don't want you to bring in firewood, because one of the big problems with firewood is that it can contain pests. It can contain all sorts of things that you don't want to bring into environments. So with certified heat treated wood, none of that exists. So we can deliver that wood so that it's local, clean, and bug free. It's risk free to the local environment. And then that way the campgrounds have a product that is safe and ready to burn, that they can, get to their campers. I was just on the phone with the campground manager that delivers the bundles to campsites. So it's super easy, to get access to bundles once you're, on the campground. But yeah, we are delivering directly to the camp stores.
Okay, cool. So if a camper actually called you and said, hey, I'm at Bob's RV park and I came across your site, wanted some firewood, would you just recommend that they call the campground owners or staff members, or would you call the owners and staff members, or how would that scenario play out?
Yeah, so I would recommend that they just, talk to the camp store and buy from the camp store.
Well, what if the camp store didn't have anything? That was my question.
Oh yeah, there are other ways, I think, to find firewood locally on the spot like that for campers. We don't deliver those kind of small quantity, like a few bundles into a campground. Again, because a lot of campgrounds don't allow that, nor is that sort of our core competency.
All right. So, but that would be kind of a good way for you to get into that campground if they didn't have firewood too. Like, oh, well, give me the name of the place you're at and let them know you talked to me, and I'll give them a call and say, hey, we can start stocking up your firewood as quick as 2 weeks out or something like that. So
yeah, I know we've definitely had people tell campground managers, hey, this wood that you're selling doesn't burn very well. You should check out Llamawood. So we're getting that word of mouth, where we have residential customers that then go to a campground and notice that the wood doesn't burn. Because once you've burned really good firewood, what not great firewood is.
Yeah.
And campers will let you know. I look at reviews of campgrounds, and you'll see that firewood comes up often. Anytime a friend goes camping and I talk to them about their experience, if the wood has any issues whatsoever, it's like one of the first things that they bring up. It's very important. It's integral to the camping experience to have a great campfire. And so anytime that we can help get that to campers, we love those recommendations. But yeah, I would appreciate anybody that suggested that a campground use Llamawood, but
Yeah.
we don't.
Yeah, that's great. I got this going through my mind now. It's almost like Uber for firewood type thing. Uber Fire or Uber Eats or something like that. So it's kind of
Yeah,
cool that you have this system going in place. I would have never thought something like this was needed. That's why, like I said, I love these podcasts. I learned so much about it. But one thing too is I got to know, where did the name come from, and when did you get started? Like, what was your
yeah.
start date? So how'd you get that name?
So my wife and I were backpacking in South America,
Okay.
and we were in Argentina. We were in Patagonia, and the culture in Patagonia. There's actually an area in South America called Tierra del Fuego,
Okay.
Land of Fire.
Yeah,
Is
like
that
fire.
they legitimately just have fires all the time. They keep warm, when camping in the fields in Patagonia. They cook with wood. It was just embedded in the culture everywhere we went, and I just like loved that passion that they had in that culture. In fact, I actually talked to the chef at our hostel, and I asked him in my broken Spanish why he enjoyed cooking with fire so much, and his response was like, "How do you like? I don't even understand that question. It's like it's what we do. We just use wood for everything." And so I
So
came up with sort of a brand, like Llama was going to be part of my brand, and I sort of threw around a couple of names, and then when I decided to start a platform for firewood delivery, I said, "Oh, I'll call it Llamawood," and it just when it came out of my mouth, it stuck,
just
and
stuck, huh?
I kept it. And then later on, I found out that Llamas, Llamas
Hmm.
in Spanish, is effectively like flames,
Oh,
like
really?
in llamas is on fire.
Yeah.
So llama wood or llama wood is sort of
So just
I
kind of
sort of named it fire wood.
firewood. That's awesome. So it just kind of came about. That's really great. And I love the logo too, because everybody will recognize it off the bat. It's a llama, so
Yeah.
yeah, no, this is a great concept. I love it. And when did you guys get started?
2021,
Oh, okay.
April of 2021. Yeah, so we're
Fairly new.
a little
Ah,
more than 3 years old. Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, that's still new for a startup company. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys look like you're already doing some good stuff. I see a few of the people that you're already sponsoring, or not. I don't know if sponsoring is the right word, but partnering with or working with. So that's this to me that makes the most sense right there. A firewood pizza place. It's like, yeah, you could be their provider. So this is cool stuff. Yeah. So thanks again for being on here with me, Hunter. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to go over? And of course, leave us your contact details. How do the people get a hold of you? Things like that.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Again, this has been great to catch up on Supplier Spot and share a little bit about Llamawood. Anybody can reach me at get.llamawood. At get.llamawood is our social, and llamawood.com is our site.
Okay.
And we're actually offering 10% off the first order right now for campgrounds.
Great.
So we can help as many as possible. And if you're interested in learning more, feel free to message me on Instagram. Yeah, get.llamawood.
Yeah, and I saw right there on your homepage too that people could actually sign up to deliver too. So I'm assuming you can have people sign up and they get a little fee to help deliver the firewood for you. So
Right.
yeah, I noticed that right here. You can either buy the firewood or sign up to deliver. So that's a pretty
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
concept.
We have a network of local producers, and a lot of them don't necessarily deliver. And so we're able to get access to more quality wood by having our own drivers who pick it up and deliver it. And so anytime an opportunity comes in for a local driver to pick up and deliver wood through
Yeah.
Llamawood, we can match it to the closest driver to that customer, who then picks up the wood and takes it to them. So yeah, if anybody's interested in delivering.
So I'm assuming they probably have to have some sort of really good system because it's all on pallets. So they'd have to be able to have it lifted into either a truck or a trailer or something like that, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's
a lot of our campground deliveries are done on either flatbeds. A pickup truck can carry often one pallet,
mhm.
and then the wood producers will put the pallet in the truck, and then they just take it to wherever they're going. And then for residential delivery restaurants, they can use like a pickup truck, a trailer, and then the wood gets dumped in at the wood yard and they deliver.
I noticed you sell racks as well. So if new pizza company, wood burning pizza company comes up and buy the rack from you, then just shows up loose wood and they just stack it up into that rack, huh?
Right. Yep. Yeah, we stack as well. So we'll deliver a rack, assemble it, fill it up with wood all in one trip. So
that's great.
Yeah, super easy.
Full-fledged service. Wow, I would never thought. Like I said, this is what I love about doing this podcast, meeting new people. I would have never thought this was a thing that you actually had this delivery service for firewood. So cool. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Hunter, for being on. As he said, you can go to llamawood.com. You can go to supplierspot.com and just type in llama or wood or llamawood, whatever, and pull up his real quick, and you can send him a message. Once I get the new site up and going, you'll have all your contact info on there as well. So thanks again, Hunter, for being on today's podcast. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time out of the day. And if there's anything else to close out, we'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks, Bobby. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks for tuning in to Supplier Spot Spotlight. Keep shining bright in the RV, park, and campground outdoor hospitality industry. Stay tuned for more illuminating conversations with industry experts. Until next time, enjoy the great outdoors.